All right, let's jump right in. What we're talking about today isn't just another AI framework. We're actually laying out the architectural blueprint for GhostOS, and this is all about its transition from a simple prototype into a full-blown sovereign operating system. This is a big deal. We're building a true bootable infrastructure platform. So, to get started, we've got to define our North Star, right? And that's this idea of a sovereign AI Linux distribution. Look, this isn't just some marketing term, it's the core of our entire design philosophy. Just imagine an environment where AI isn't some app you launch. No, it's a fundamental, governed service, just like your network stack or your file system. And the most important part of this whole thing? Human authority. You are always in charge of how this system operates and evolves. In this slide, this really nails the massive architectural shift we're making. On the left, you've got your standard AI agent framework. It's basically a software library that runs on an OS. But on the right, that's GhostOS. It is the OS. And what does that really mean? Well, instead of just uncontrolled, chaotic tool calling, you get governance-first execution. The agent is no longer the entire product. It's just one governed piece of a much bigger sovereign platform. So how are we actually going to build this thing? Here's the plan. We'll start with the big vision. Then we'll walk through the phased blueprint. And after that, we get into the really good stuff. The OS-level governance, the human approval workflow that makes it all safe, and then a little peek into the future with what we're calling the Cognition Layer.
Okay, first up, the vision. You know, before you can lay a single brick, you have to be absolutely clear on the principles guiding the whole project. This is all about getting that foundation right. These 5 principles, they're our bedrock. They're totally non-negotiable. First, we are Linux first. It behaves like a real distro with native systemd services. We are local first and sovereign, which means your core control and data live locally, no cloud dependency. Crucially, we are governance first. And that all ladders up to the most important one, human authority. The system will never, ever modify itself silently, period.
Okay, now let's pop the hood and take a look at the blueprint itself. This is our structured, multi-phase roadmap that's going to take us from where we are right now to a fully installable operating system. So our path to a mature OS follows this really clear 3-stage pipeline. We started with stage 1, which was a developer install on Ubuntu, using simple scripts. We're now moving into stage 2, distributing standard .deb packages for clean, repeatable, manageable installs. And the grand finale, stage 3, is a complete custom ISO, a fully branded bootable image with a slick first boot wizard. Now this is where it gets really cool. We're not just building this one piece at a time. I want you to think of it like a 3-lane highway with all 3 lanes moving forward at the same time. Track A is the distro foundation. That's the core plumbing. Track B is the desktop experience, the UI, the control plane. And track C is the intelligent substrate, the AI itself. By the time we hit phase VI, all 3 of those lanes merge, and boom, you have a mature, cohesive platform. All right, let's get to the absolute cornerstone of this whole architecture, OS-level governance. And I have to stress, this isn't some feature you can just toggle on or off. It is woven into the very DNA of the system. See, we treat governance as a core, distro-level concern. We use these modular policy packs to bake rules right into the OS. And just look at the file system integration. Your pending approvals, your audit logs, they live in standard, predictable Linux paths. We're not hiding anything in some proprietary database. It's all transparent, all accessible, exactly how you'd expect a real Linux environment to work. And here's a really critical distinction you need to get. We govern both what the AI can do right now and what it can become in the future. Think of execution governance as a traffic cop. It's managing the here and now, preventing unsafe actions at runtime. But capability creation governance, that's more like the city planner. It's thinking about the future, making sure any new tool the AI dreams up is validated and approved by you before it ever gets built. This brings us to our ultimate safeguard. This is the mechanism that actually enforces that human authority principle we talked about. It's the mandatory human-in-the-loop workflow. Let me be perfectly clear about this. No AI-generated code will ever be installed silently. It absolutely has to pass through this rigorous 5-step lifecycle. The AI proposes something, the system validates it, it gets sandboxed and put in a queue, and then, and this is the key step, a human operator like you reviews it. Only after you give explicit approval is the tool integrated, and every single one of those decisions is logged forever. This right here. This is the foundation of our entire security and governance model. It's an absolute. The system is architected from the ground up to enforce this one simple, powerful rule. The AI can propose, but only a human can approve. And we give you, the operator, powerful and flexible ways to manage this workflow. So if you prefer a visual panel in GhostHub for an intuitive review, you got it. If you want to script and automate approvals with the Control CLI, you can do that too. You have the power. And it doesn't matter which method you choose, every single decision is logged right there in our persistent audit trail. So where is all of this heading? Let's look towards the future for a minute and see how this really robust governance architecture allows the system to get smarter over time, but without ever sacrificing human control. You know, this is the million-dollar question for any sovereign AI system, isn't it? How do you let the system improve itself, let it learn and adapt while you maintain absolute authority? So how do we solve this puzzle? Well, the answer is what we call Layer 7, the Cognition Layer. But don't think of it as some abstract magical intelligence. It's much simpler. It's a data-driven proposal engine. It's like having a performance analyst built right into the OS. It's constantly looking at real system-wide telemetry, like which tools get used the most, how often are you approving or rejecting its suggestions. Based on that hard data, it generates highly relevant, data-backed proposals for how it could be optimized. And here is the most critical safety mechanism of all. The AI can analyze its own performance, and it can come up with brilliant ways to improve itself, but it is architecturally forbidden from acting on those insights. It is strictly a proposal-only system. Every single optimization it suggests is sandboxed and gets routed through the exact same human approval workflow we've been talking about this whole time. So what does all this boil down to? With these architectural layers firmly in place, the distro foundation, the OS-level governance, and all the fail-safe approval workflows, the evolution is undeniable. GhostOS is no longer just some prototype. It is now a true bootable AI infrastructure platform. The foundation is built. And that really leaves us with a fascinating question for the future. When you build an operating system from the ground up with governance at its very core, you create something new. A system that can intelligently and safely propose its own evolution, always under your command. So the real question isn't just what's possible, it's what will you build with it?